probably won't. It is technically the second show. The first one was on Saturday, but it went very horribly wrong. So maybe technically this is the first show. Who even knows anymore? Could be the second show. It could be the first. Hello, one person. Good. I mean, I did go live on Sunday, but that wasn't actually part of the show. And I've got a different show that actually went quite well. That's got guests in it, which is a relief because embarrassing yourself in people that are actually there to look at you in the video and judge you would be terrible. But fortunately, I've driven the one person away. That's not fortunate. One person away that was here. Hello, people. There's little flies in this room. We've got a bit of a insect infestation in this house and everyone keeps getting bitten, but my dad hasn't got bitten and he thinks that it's all a scam and that we're making it up. He's gaslighting us and saying, oh, it's all in your mind. Have you got bitten? Yes, I've got bitten. I can show you the marks if you don't believe me. But he just goes, oh, all right, whatever. Because he hasn't got bitten, because he's got the sort of blood that doesn't get bitten. He's got B negative, B negative. That's the thing that he does, is B negative, B negative, B negative. That's my dad all along. He is B negative, B negative. That is his ethos and that is his way. And B negative, B negative. That's his blood and that's his lifestyle. He can probably hear me now. He forgot my mum's anniversary. Well, his mum and it was yesterday. It was their anniversary, their wedding anniversary. And he just said, oh no, I forgot it yesterday. So I went to ask my mum. She was on the phone. I said, Mum, did you remember it was your anniversary yesterday? And she went, so that, true love, true love, true love, true love, true love. After all these years, they don't give a sod. Which is probably the way to be. Anyway, it's so nice to see you. 3 people now. 3 people now. Now, this show is called What Is It You Want? That's as nobody is saying what they want and nobody is commenting on this. Have I even got the live chat on? I have. Which chord sequence do you play when you perform your freeform comedy? Oh, it probably is all of those things, Barry. I didn't have the comments on, and that is why I didn't see you. It is, look, C and a G and a whatever that is, and a B and an A and a that 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 and a that. It's whatever I feel like doing. Hello, you're there with Ollie. That's nice. It's going to get hot tomorrow, so make sure you've got all the windows open and don't go out in the middle of the day because it'll be hot tomorrow and if you get outside you might fry like a bean. Do beans fry? They will if you go out in this weather. Be very, very wary and make sure you hydrate. That's always the thing. Hydrate if you can. Yes, refried beans, they will be very much refried beans. Fried in the first place and fried in the second place. Refried beans, that's interesting because you sort of boil them up first and then you fry them up in a pan or put them in the oven. So, are they really refried? Well, that's the thing. Pinto beans, they're the nice ones that you have when you do that. It's nice. Yum, 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 yum. I am hungry now. Made me hungry. So, what have I been doing these last couple of days? Well, I've been interviewing people and even though I have been off your screens for a whole day, I've been interviewing people and making sure I've got them all ready for tomorrow's lineup for my morning show where I'm expecting people that have probably been up all night schmoozing and drinking cocktails and really wanting to not get up in the morning, to get up in the morning and talk to me. Doggerel. Yes, exactly. Poetry. That's a conversation in the comments that I'm not going to read out the whole of, but he's talking about doggerel and other things. What sort of poetry? Modern poetry is sometimes doggerel, but it's sometimes very profound. Old-fashioned poetry is sometimes doggerel, but again, it's sometimes really profound and poetry. acquired taste, and you might not like it, but it is there, and that's all you can say. Happy, happy, happy birthday, happy, happy, happy birthday, happy, happy, happy birthday, happy birthday to you. I did the wrong chord in the middle. Happy, happy, happy birthday, happy, happy, happy birthday, happy, happy, happy birthday, happy birthday to you. That's completely a different chord sequence to the ones that I originally used, but I don't remember anything, and I don't keep notes very often, so that's just that, and you can't stop me from doing what I want to do. Ha 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 ha. Yes, it's very nice, wasn't it? It was amazing. It was absolutely amazing. Oh. So I've been having so much fun. It's been a renaissance for me, a renaissance of videos. Just doing anything, because it's short form. I've been concentrating for many years on doing long videos because of the algorithms. The algorithms made me do it. But now after saying I'm not going to do all of that modern, newfangled stuff, I'm like, yeah, just knock them out of the park. Just been doing that. So I don't really know what to say, whether anybody's here. Some of you are here. Paganism. Yes, you said that. Barry, I told my mum that you said that she looked like a witch. No, she felt like a witch. She was a sort of witch, and she got very offended and sort of went at this. Why? Why would you think I'm a witch? What have I done? And then she said, is it because of what I did on the Saturday show? And I said no, and she said no, because that didn't even show up, because we are cursed people, and we cursed it, and it didn't work at all. It didn't work at all, and that's what happened there. It was very sad indeed. 7 minutes in, and has anything happened? No, it hasn't. So, the show that I did last year, which was different every day, it was all sorts of different fun and jollity and all sorts of stuff, and reviewers reviewed it and said it was great. And this year there's the trouble. It's like, oh no, how can I top that? And I think the way to top that is not to top it at all, and just give in to mediocrity, because mediocrity is the way to go, because who even cares? Maybe it'll snow, and then when it snows it'll be colder than it is here, because now I'm sweating streams, and it isn't even the heat wave till tomorrow. What are you doing? It's not the heat wave till tomorrow. We're having a heat wave, and it's not a tropical heat wave, it's just a horrible heat wave that's making me sweat. Sweat. And we've got the fleas, bitten by the fleas. I haven't actually, to be honest. I cleaned the washing machine the other day. I don't know whether I said this. I was up until really late. Curmudgeons, no. No, I don't think that Crump, am I going to call you Crump, Mary? I don't think that they would like that. They might be very offended indeed. So probably best to say nice things. Like they said nice things about the elves, so that they would be nice to you and wouldn't kidnap you and bring you to their realm, and then you would never get away from the elves. Never get away from the elves. You called them the fair folk, the fair folk, the fair folk, and you don't say horrible things about the fair folk, because they will take you away from your bed and then keep you there forever. Definitely do not eat things in the fairyland, in the fair folks land, because if you turn around and you eat things, then you will stay there forever, and they'll be very, 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 very evil to you, and they'll bite you like midges. Crump. Yeah, you will. Do you like crump? Bite you like idgy midges. So that's the trouble with that. I keep meaning to go for walks, many walks, but it either rains, and then I'm like, I'm not going for a walk in this rain, or it's very, very hot, and I'm like, I'm not going for a walk in this hot. It's not in between. There's no in between at the moment. It's either horrible or horrible. There's a nice happy medium, and it's not happening at the moment. It hasn't happened for quite some time, so I haven't really, and I also, because my parents, they're getting slightly, I mean, the years go by, the minutes go by, the hours go by, and they're not prepared to come for walks with me now, because it's hot or cold, and it's a long way, so I would have to go on my own, and the risk is falling into a crevice and never getting up again. I'm not going to do that or risk that on my own if there's nobody there, because if nobody is there and a tree falls in the forest and there's nobody there, this is very much what I did on my own on Saturday, thinking that I was having an audience, and I didn't have any audience, and it didn't record because I was stuck in my time loop that you didn't see. It was very, very, very sorry and sad for me, and I panicked. I very much panicked. Oh my goodness me. Me. So Stephanie, I suppose you've seen the melted cat that Ollie made. He didn't really make a real... You can't drive me away. Oh well, I won't drive you away then. I will not drive anyone away. Haha, no matter how hard I try. Which is my main... There's a method in my madness. I'm always getting lost in dense forest, Barry Crump. Always getting lost in forests. Did I tell you about the time my entire family got lost in a forest? It was very near where the fairy ring took away all the fairies. Didn't take the fairies, it took people into the fairy ring. Yes, they were weird, weren't they, that cat? No, when we got lost in the forest, we went for a walk. There was a TV aerial on the top of the mountain near where it was. If you've seen the video with the fairy ring, and there's an abandoned church that, and then near there, some thing about somebody went missing and they didn't appear for years later, and somebody tried to get them out of the fairy ring and they just disappeared. So that was an interesting story, but way before I'd even heard of this story, or I had heard of that story, but I didn't realise that it was an actual story that took place in this particular place. Very near there is a forestry, and me and my parents, one day when I was about 10, and my brother was about 7, we went for a lovely family walk in the forest, and it was one of those pine forests which has very, very, very close together, densely packed pines, and they're very, very spiky. And we started walking in the forest, which was a bad mistake because the further we got into the forest, the denser they got, and the more dark it got, and the more spiky it got, and we cried and we cried and we kept going. We didn't go back. We thought, we're in here already and it's gonna open up soon, and then we can get out of the forest. And we were crying and panicking, and get deeper and deeper into the forest. And it stopped being a happy family outing and became oh my goodness, we're gonna die in here and we'll never be found. But then eventually we saw the light at the end of the forest, and we went to the light, and we came out of the light, and we came into a field, and we're like, yay, that's amazing. And then at the end of the field we saw a farmer. Instead of saying, farmer, hello, we are lost and we are alone, can you help us? We saw he had a gun and we went, no, and back we went into the forest. And we had to go all the other way, all through spikes and dark and spikes and dark and spikes and dark, and eventually we found our way out of there because it was very near the fairy ring, and we didn't even know because the fair folk had clearly taken us away. We were gone with the fairies until today, and in fact I've been there this whole time, and that's why everything's been so terrible in my entire life, because I've just been taken away and I've only just got back. And that probably explains an awful lot of facts, and that explains pretty much everything, because we were lost in the forest. We were. That was awful. It's a true story, and it was the fact. Instead of going, hello, friendly farmer, it's just that he had a gun and he waved at us and shouted, and we panicked. I'm amazed that we ever got out of that, because it was a tense situation. It was very, very terrifying. Can you have very, very terrifying? It was, though. Can you put a superlative with terrifying? Well, I don't know. Is terrifying in itself a superlative? I don't think it is. I think you can have degrees of terrifying. It was a little bit terrifying. you can't have a little bit terrifying. It's either terrifying or it's not. It was terrifying. That was not great. I would suggest you don't do that. That was also very near. If you kept going through the forest and over the other side and kept going on that same mountain, you would find a load of burial mounds. They're called, I can't remember. Yeah, that sheep tumps. I can't remember the Welsh for sheep. I can't remember. I think it starts with a D, but I might be wrong. And then if you keep going, you get to the Devil's Heap of Stones, which allegedly the devil kept taking away. There's a place called St. Cadoc's, which is a church, and according to the story, the devil took away the churches when St. Cadoc was trying to build it and put them on the top of the mountain. In actual fact, it's more likely that there were burial mounds on the top of the mountain, and the people building St. Cadoc's had taken away the stones from there. So who knows? It might have been like Stonehenge, or maybe it is exactly where Stonehenge was, and Stonehenge was on the top of the mountain near here, and they took it away. They stole it away to Somerset. Is it in Somerset or is it in Wiltshire? It's somewhere like that. It's certainly not here anymore, and it was originally in Wales. I think it's the Preseli Hills. So this is not the Preseli Hills. It's just near the Brecon Beacons. But maybe they took it all the way across and they kept them there for a little while and they went, yeah, let's just take them away again. That's probably what happened. Probably even before the church was built, because the church wouldn't have been built until in the last 2,000 years. And I have a feeling that the Devil's Heap of Stones, before it got crumbled away and there's not much there, was a very ancient ground. Very ancient. There's a lot of interesting stuff around here. Interesting stuff around here that nobody looks into. But is again where the Silures lived. The Silurians. It's a Doctor Who villain, but it's also it's a historical era, and it's also a tribe of people. Sticky heat. Oh, did you? Oh, bracken. I hate bracken. Bracken is horrible, and you can't eat it. Apparently, if you're really lost for it, you can get the little furls of bracken and you can cook them and eat them. But the actual spores of bracken have been known to cause terrible asthmatic attacks and all sorts of terribleness. Bracken is one of those things that you really don't, and it grows everywhere. Like when I was trying to find a different ancient site and all that was there was bracken, and I lost my father. That's another time, another panicking. I've got video evidence of that I genuinely was panicking. I couldn't find him and I thought that something had happened that time. But that was more where the pucker lived, whereas the fairy folk are on the other side. There's an awful lot of fairy folk and mischief making around here. If you can believe all of that, which you wouldn't. I mean, ordinarily, I would say, what a load of old nonsense. I don't believe that nonsense. But then every time I'm in this mystical, foresty land, I get something weird happening to me, and I'm like, oh no, this is a little bit spooky. A little bit spooky and a bit terrifying. A bit terrifying, see? Not very terrifying. So maybe you can put superlatives. Ever so terrifying. It was the most terrifying. It was super terrifying. Super terrifying. So, yeah. Yeah. And I don't know what to do. So I've got a month, 3 weeks really, of these shows. And who even knows what will happen in them. But this is technically the opening one. So you're here to see it. Whereas if you were here on Saturday, you wouldn't hear. You weren't here anyway because it didn't work. There's only a couple of minutes left of it. It is lost in the mist of time. I am a bit suffering from cabin fever. Yes, Barry. Maybe I'll try and find the place where the pucker lived again. But I will have to pack a picnic and lots of water and a sun hat, because I can't eat in fairyland. They'll keep me there. Oh yeah, early in the morning is probably good. The trouble with going for a walk early in the morning is by the time you come back, it is no longer early in the morning. It it is a little bit later in the morning, and then you will be some. Yeah. Anyway, I've got shows at 11 o'clock in the morning, which isn't early in the morning. I suppose I could go before that. I did not buy Bovril, Barry, because we have not had another shopping since I realised that I'd forgotten to get the Bovril. So that's it. She made banana bread yesterday, and I left her to it, and she got a little bit confused about the measuring and put the wrong amount of flour in it. But it was still lovely. So no harm, no foul. That's an interesting phrase. Is that a real phrase? No harm done. No harm, no foul. Is that an American footballing term? Possibly. Who even knows? I don't know. I've been watching a lot of TikToky videos. The videos on TikTok. And I realised that the sort of things that I make, which are very stupid, are not the sort of things that I'm following. The sort of people I'm following on my For You page are very serious, earnest people. There's a lot of activists. There's a lot of really, really earnest, sensible people that are, highbrow, talking about amazing, really proper, deep thinking people. And they really aren't following me because they're not going to follow me, because the sort of nonsense that I put out, I don't know who is. I haven't really got many followers on TikTok. I'm there for the likes, and I'm getting some of the likes, but I'm not getting the followers, because I think I'm good in small doses. You see me and you go, ha, and then you hope to never see me again, unfortunately. But I'm really there. Because I've also had 2 scammy people. Now, my whole policy was, if you follow me and you have videos, I will follow you back. So I followed one person actually. I followed one person back and immediately got a private message going, hello, ha ha ha, would you like to, hello pretty lady. It's like, pretty lady, please. Hello pretty lady. And I'm like, that's a bit sus. No, I'm not sure. So I looked at some of the videos and I was like, there's not anything much here. And I did a back search on the picture, which you could do. So I had to go onto my laptop rather than on my phone. And I did a back search for it. And I found that this picture was actually it was a captain, Thomas something Thomas anyway. And he is a ship's captain on a ship that goes, I think, to Alaska and Iceland and places like that. And he is married to a man. But this person was saying, I love pretty ladies. And apparently, a load of people have been using this particular picture and trying to scam people, single people looking for love, lonely people, and saying, oh, please send me some money, and then scamming them out of thousands of pounds by going, oh, I'll pay you back, and all that sort of thing. Now, I wasn't born yesterday, as you can see from the face. I'm definitely, I'm able to look at things. I don't go, there's apparently a WhatsApp thing lately. WhatsApp, where people pretend to be people's children and say, send me some money, mummy, it's my new number. And people have fallen for that. Now, I am not so stupid to do that, because I'm not going to send you any money, and I don't have any kids. But my parents might, but they're not on WhatsApp. I don't like WhatsApp. But this picture has been trolled around the internet, and people have been scammed by it, which is very, very annoying. And then somebody else yesterday, who was younger and had only just that very second started the account, probably not younger, but the picture was younger, but because I didn't look, so I was like, videos, oh yes. But then I thought, no, I've been caught once before, but I haven't been caught, because I immediately blocked the person and tried to report them and was told, no, they haven't done anything wrong. It's like, but they're pretending to be this gay captain from Iceland, and they're clearly not. So I don't know whether they've been blocked now. But this other person has only got, they look like videos, but you press the videos and it's just a picture that they clearly got from somewhere else. And I haven't backtracked this picture because I didn't need to, because I don't want to, because I'm certainly not going to follow them back, because I know their thing now. Don't get me that. Don't get me once, you definitely don't get me twice. And also, I don't have any money, so I'm not going to send you any money, you idiot. And I don't really care for people that send me private messages and go, hello, pretty lady. Pretty lady. Who are you calling pretty lady? blur. I do not respond to that sort of thing. Not at all. I will interact with people and I'll be friendly, but keep distance. Anyway, this all goes to show. Yes, that's exactly right. It was Iceland, the frozen food store. They've got a boat that travels around Iceland, the frozen food store, and it picks up the fish fingers and the pavlova, and then it brings it back to your house. That's exactly what happens. Anyway, what was I saying? That my point is, the sort of people I'm making videos for are the sort of people that I hope will be amused by these videos and follow me and watch more amusing videos. But what's actually happening is I'm very confused. I think I'm slightly subverting the whole algorithm. Now, I was getting completely random things on the For You page for ages. I've only been on it 2 weeks, but for 2 weeks, and now it's just completely, I mean, it's specific topics, and I'm thinking, these things are contradictory, and what sort of person does this app think I am? And I'm all right with that. I'm maybe none of the things that it thinks I am, but I'm happy to watch other people doing. I like other people doing things that I'm not necessarily going to do myself, or be myself, or say myself, or think myself. As long as it's not horrible, then I'll probably follow you and very, very much enjoy watching your videos. If they're long or short, or somewhere in between. But I'm certainly not going to fall for your stupid scam. So be off with you. Be gone with you. I will send you to the fairy folk, the fair folk, and you can just go and stay there. Please eat all the things you want and stay there forever. That's all I can say to you, scammy people. Whoever you may be, so you don't know who they are, because these pictures and videos that they've nabbed from other poor unsuspecting people who have no idea that their images are being used to thwart other people and take away their stuff. If you ever see my image on anything, then please do not send any money to that person. Even if it's me, especially if it's me. You don't want to be doing that. You want to keep your money, especially in these dark times. So that said, if you want to donate money through this video, this me here on the YouTube with my name on it is me. So because I was going to ask for maybe you could donate to me. Now I'm just contradicting myself now. Don't send this person money as I asked to be sent money. Don't send me money. But you can, ask for a super comment and what like that, because that's a different thing. Because you'll get exactly, if you put a super comment, then I'll read your super comment and you paid me £1 or whatever. But send them a ghost penny. Oh, the ghost penny. Is that a mystical penny that will hex them? Yeah. Or is it the ghost penny that I found in the garden? Did you see that? You didn't, because I never put it up. But we bought during lockdown, or just before lockdown actually, I'm not entirely sure when it was, we bought a metal detector, and the only thing I found was in the garden, and it was a penny. I thought it was a penny, and I was like, ooh, maybe it's an old Roman coin. And when I washed it, I realized that it was a Hungarian, maybe not a Hungarian, but it was a euro. It was a euro from 1997. That had somehow found its way into my parents' garden. And it was from, and I was like, how did that get there? A mental detector, exactly. No, a metal detector. It found its way into my parents' garden, just sort of on the path. It's like, how did it get there? Because they certainly haven't been to the EU since that time. I don't think we've had any visitors from there, or any building work done, or anything. But this tiny coin was completely corroded. I mean, you press it and all the bits would fall off. So they're not very sturdy coins, clearly, the euros. It was just completely melted away when you touch it. So it wasn't an ancient coin at all. It was a 1997 euro. But that was the weird thing. How did it get there? I mean, I do collect coins, but I haven't been throwing them in the garden, and I certainly haven't had any euros. Uncle Jeff dropped it. Yes, that's probably my chimney sweep uncle you're talking about. Yeah, no, I don't think that's it. So it's a mystery how it got there. It must have travelled through time and space. Very much like the coin that I found in the corner. That was a silver coin. That was, see, I thought, oh, well, that's happened before, that a coin has dropped from nowhere into this room, maybe in the garden. That same thing has happened. But no, it was just a corroded, useless cent. 1 cent. Very, very, very disappointing indeed. Anyway, what was I saying? I don't know. There was probably some reason I started this story, but Lord knows what it is. I certainly don't know. I think it was something to do with the ghost penny that you said. Ghost penny. That ghost penny. That wasn't a penny. Oh yeah, I told you about that. That wasn't a penny. That was a German coin. That was from Francis the First of the Holy Roman Emperor. Which is and doesn't exist when you look it up online. It's a coin that is very much a coin that has never existed as far as the internet knows. Probably does exist because I have a copy of it. Maybe it's, I don't know what it is. It's a coin. It's certainly a coin of some sort, or a token. Maybe it's a token of me imagining that we've got ghosts when we certainly haven't. But it's right. I'm just going to wind this up now. Thank you very much for joining me. Tomorrow morning I have got some guests coming in. I've got one coming into the studio. I think that's Posy Meta, who's got a show called I Am a Gorilla. Or I am not a gorilla. That's it. That would make sense. I am not a gorilla. Not that she is a gorilla. I am not a gorilla. And I think it's a clowning show, which I think is an underbelly. And also Sashandrika Chakrabarti, who has got a show called I Miss Amy Winehouse. Now, that is a pre-recorded one. So it will make very little difference really because they'll both go out. So I've got 2 people tomorrow and then I've got more guests coming up, all sorts of people that aren't me. I think you'll see that is a boon. Somebody that's not me is really going to be a unique selling point. And so come and watch it tomorrow morning at 11 o'clock British Summer Time or GMTV +1. GMT +1. What am I even talking about? So it's tomorrow anyway. And yes, and this is again 7 o'clock tomorrow where I will be warbling and burbling and just generally sweating my head off from this heat because it's going to be apparently 35 degrees tomorrow and it's already too warm. Too darn hot. All right then, thank you very much for joining me. I will be, as I said, here all month. La 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 la. The veal is good. La 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 la. Don't eat veal. That's a joke about the Borscht Belt comedians and stuff where you go la ha ha and you've got dinner theatre and I don't even know what I'm talking about now. I've lost it, completely lost it. Anyway, I've just been reminded that my mother has got a beetroot that we could make soup out of. I can make beetroot soup, which is borscht. We shall have some borscht. And we shall all have purple hands and purple heads and purple tongues if we do that. So, yes, beetroot soup for all. Nobody's here anymore. I'm assuming you've all gone. But thank you very much for joining me. And I will be back soon. La, 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 la. Bye.